Shri Radha Krishnaya Namo Namaha. At first, I offer my humble prayers in the lotus feet of Lord Shri Radha Krishna. I also extend warm greetings and respect to all of you. Today, from the scripture Shri Vivekcudamani, composed by Adi Shri Shankaracharya ji, we will be listening chapter number 9. The holy words from the scripture are as follows. If thus the Shruti in the dictum, thou art that, tat tvam asi, repeatedly establishes the absolute identity of Brahman or Ishvara and Jiva denoted by the terms that, tat, and thou, tvam, respectively, divesting these terms of their relative association, then it is the identity of their implied, not literal, meanings which is sought to be inculcated, for they are of attributes contradictory to each other, like the sun and a glowworm, the king and a servant, the ocean and a well, or Mount Meru and an atom. This contradiction between them is created by superimposition and is not something real. The superimposition in the case of Ishvara, the Lord, is Maya or nascence, which is the cause of Mahat and the rest, and in the case of the Jiva, the individual soul, listen, consists of the five sheets, which are the effects of Maya. These are the two superimpositions of Ishvara and the Jiva respectively, and when these are perfectly eliminated, there is neither Ishvara nor Jiva. A kingdom is a symbol of a king and a shield of a soldier, and when these are taken away, there is neither king nor soldier. The Vedas themselves, in the words now, then, is injunction, and so on, repudiate the duality imagined in the Brahman. One must needs eliminate those two superimpositions by means of realization supported by the authority of the Vedas. Neither this gross nor this subtle universe being imagined, they are not real. Like the snake seen in the rope, and like dreams, perfectly eliminating the objective world. In this way, by means of reasoning, one should next realize the oneness that underlies Ishvara and the Jiva. Hence, those two terms, Ishvara and Jiva, must be carefully considered through their implied meanings so that their absolute identity may be established. Neither the method of total rejection nor that of complete retention will do. One must reason out through the process which combines the two. Just as in the sentence, this is that Devdatta, the identity is spoken of eliminating the contradictory portions, so in the sentence, thou art that, the wise man must give up the contradictory elements on both sides and recognize the identity of Ishvara and Jiva, noticing carefully the essence of both, which is Chitta, knowledge, absolute. Thus, hundreds of scriptural texts inculcate the oneness and identity of Brahman and Jiva. Eliminating the not self in the light of such passages as it is not cross and so on, which is self established, unattached like the sky and beyond the range of thought, therefore dismiss this mere phantom of a body which thou perceivest and hast accepted as thy own self. By means of the purified understanding that thou art Brahman, realize thy own self, the knowledge absolute. All modifications of clay, such as jar, which are always accepted by the mind as real, are nothing but clay. Similarly, this entire universe, which is produced from the real Brahman, is Brahman itself and nothing but that. Because there is nothing else whatever but Brahman, and that is the only self existent reality, our very self. Therefore, art thou that serene, pure, supreme Brahman, the one without a second. As the place, time, object, snore, and the like called up in dream are all unreal, so also is the world experienced here in the waking state, for it is all an effect of one's own ignorance. Because this body, the organs, the pranas, egoism, etc., are also thus unreal. Therefore, art thou that serene, pure, supreme Brahman, the one without a second. What is erroneously supposed to exist in something is when the truth about it has been known, nothing but that substratum, and not at all different from it. The diversified dream universe appears and passes away in the dream itself. Does it appear on waking as something distinct from one's own self? That which is beyond caste and creed, family and lineage, devoid of name and form, merit and demerit, transcending space, time, and sense objects, that Brahman art thou. Meditate on this in thy mind. That supreme Brahman which is beyond the range of all speech but accessible to the eye of pure illumination, which is pure, the embodiment of knowledge, the beginningless entity, that Brahman art thou. Meditate on this in thy mind. That which is untouched by the sixfold wave, meditated upon by the yogi's heart, but not grasped by the sense organ, which the buddhi cannot know and which is unimpeachable, that Brahman art thou. Meditate on this in thy mind. That which is the substratum of the universe, with its various subdivisions, which are all creations of delusion, which itself has no other support, which is distinct from the gross and subtle, which has no parts and has verily no exemplar, that Brahman art thou. Meditate on this in thy mind. That which is free from birth, growth, development, waste, disease, and death, which is indestructible, which is the cause of the projection, maintenance, and dissolution of the universe, that Brahman art thou. Meditate on this in thy mind. That which is free from differentiation, whose essence is never known, exist, which is unmoved like the ocean without waves, the ever free of indivisible form, that Brahman art thou. Meditate on this in thy mind. That which, though one only, is the cause of the many, which refutes all other causes, but is itself without cause, distinct from Maya and its effect, the universe and independent, that Brahman art thou. Meditate on this in thy mind. That which is free from duality, which is infinite and indestructible, distinct from the universe and Maya, supreme, eternal, which is undying bliss, taintless, that Brahman art thou. Meditate on this in thy mind. That reality which appears variously owing to delusion, taking on names and forms, attributes and changes, itself always unchanged, like gold in its modification, that Brahman art thou. Meditate on this in thy mind. That beyond which there is nothing, which shines even above Maya, which again is superior to its effect, the universe, the inmost self of all, free from differentiation, the real self, the existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute, infinite, and immutable, that Brahman art thou. Meditate on this in thy mind. On the truth inculcated above, one must oneself meditate in one's mind through the intellect by means of the recognized arguments. By that means, one will realize the truth free from doubt and the like water in the palm of one's hand. Realizing in this body the knowledge absolute, free from nations and its effects, like the king in any army, and being ever established in thy own self, by resting on that knowledge, merge the universe in Brahman. In the cave of the buddhi, there is the Brahman, distinct from the gross and subtle, the existence absolute, supreme, the one without a second, for one who lives in this cave as Brahman. O beloved, there is no more entrance into the mother's womb. Even after the truth has been realized, there remains that strong, beginningless, obstinate impression that one is the agent and experience which is the cause of one's transmigration. It has to be carefully removed by living in a state of constant identification with the Supreme Self. Sages call that liberation, which is attenuation of vasanas, here and now. The idea of me and my in the body, organs, and the like, which are non-self, the superimposition, the wise man must put a stop to it by identifying himself with the Atman. Realizing thy own inmost self, the witness of the buddhi and its modification, and constantly revolving the positive thought, I am that, conquer this identification with the non-self. Relinquishing the observance of social formalities, giving up all ideas of trimming up the body and avoiding too much engrossment with the scriptures. Do away with the superimposition that has come upon thyself. Thus concludes chapter number 9 from the scripture Shri Vivekcudamani. Thank you for listening. Shri Radha Krishnaya Namo Namaha.